Troy, uh, you were kickboxing champion, and all of that wasn't enough. You decided there was more out there for you. So you went into the boxing world. How did that happen? How did you decide to go into professional boxing?
Well, actually, what I do is what I decided to do. I thought I need to get better. I need to get more training with my hands to be a better kickboxer. I need to be a better boxer. So you can't just be boxing, or you can't just be a kickboxer. You got to be good in both. So I wanted to better my boxing. So I went to a boxing gym in Fort Worth. It was where it's called Super Gorman's Super Pro Gym. And at that time, Donald Curry was a world champion. They had Gene Hatcher as a world champion, and they had Steve Cruz. And I was sparring Steve Cruz, and I was his sparring partner, and he won the world title in Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, in the '80s. And that's what spurred me. And I thought, I mean, think, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So I set my eyes on that title. Several times I got cut. They would stop the fight. My second fight, I was cut, and they stopped the fight because it was so bad. And the other guy wins, and it says on my record TKO loss by this guy when I just got cut. But I probably had 30, 40 cuts in my boxing career, and every fight that says in that I was stopped TKO, it was because I was cut. Oscar De La Hoya cut me in the first round, the 2-inch gash. I was so mad when they stopped that fight because I knew, because he was the golden boy and they were bringing him along. And they didn't want anybody to beat him. I was the first world champion that he fought. It wasn't for a title. It was a 10-round fight. And I just
Wait,
knew.
before we get into him talking about him, how did it happen that you were able to be matched up and fight Oscar De La Hoya? But before, Troy, before fighting him, how many boxing matches, not kickboxing, but boxing matches did you have before you actually fought Oscar De La Hoya?
I think I had about 20, high 20, something like that. And they were trying to get him a fight with a known name. So I was a known name. I had already won a world title, and then I lost the world title. But so I was a champion. So they're putting him with, I was his first champion that he fought. And he stopped me. Well, I got cut, and the blood was running perfectly down the side of my head, not in my eye. And I had bled before, been cut before, so I knew that they were just stopping it because he's the golden boy, and they
Yes.
were wanting to get a win for him. But when I went in that dressing room, then I looked and I went, "Wow, it's a 2-inch." We measured it, 2-inch gash all the way across here. And when I went to the uh, hospital in Las Vegas to get sewed up, the doctor said there's a surgery that you can have, and they can shave these bones down. So I went in November of that same year. I went and had that surgery. There's a scar. I don't know if you see the scar here, and it goes all the way over to here.
Oh my gosh.
You see the scar?
I can't see it, but I can envision it.
My hair is too long, but they
Oh,
here to here, and they pulled the skin to the edge of my eye, shaved the
I,
off the eyes. They cut a little bit of my eyelid out to make it more difficult to get cut. Then they sewed it back up, and I fought for 4 more years and without a cut. And then I won another world title in boxing. I won a couple. I think I won 2 more in kickboxing. So it was worth that to me. And then in 1998, I fought at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. I fought Gabriel Ruelas. I think it was the 7th round. They stopped the fight because I was cut. Then I decided I put my wife through HELL, and my parents also watching me because I had a brother, 2 brothers that fought also, Brian and Rodney. They fought. They just didn't go as far as I did, but I watched them fight. And whenever I seen them lose or get banged up, oh, it hurt so bad. I can imagine my wife and my parents. So I put them through heck. And so after that fight, I thought, I'm 35 years old. I've been able to win the titles, and and they've supported me the whole way through. But they've had a hard time watching me because at times they stopped the fight because of the cuts and getting hurt and things like that. So, anyways, I decided to retire.
You know, when you were fighting, when you knew you were going to fight Oscar De La Hoya, uh, his name was, like you say, the Golden Boy. He's beginning. He's there. What was your feeling when you knew you were going to fight him? What did you think?
I just knew that I could beat him. I knew that I could beat him and get in and work his body, work him down. And I did, and he hadn't had any really long fights. So, and I was long known for every round that I win. I got stronger and stronger and stronger. And I've been 12 rounds several times. So if I knew I could keep, there's a saying, you take them out in the deep water. Like in the beginning, they're okay, but you take them out in the deep water, they can't take it. So that was my thought at that time, that I'd take him out of the deep water into the late rounds and pound on him. And if I knocked him out, I knocked him out. But if I didn't, then I knew I could pound on him for during that time, those late rounds. So
Did you have conversation with Oscar De La Hoya? Did he chat with you after the match?
no, we never
Never chatted.
until about 3 months ago. I went to some boxing matches in Fort Worth that he helped promote, and I saw him there, and we waved at each other. We talked a little bit, but that's it. But yeah,
Well,
we're friends. Pretty much all the people, all the fighters that I fought, Jesse James Leha, we became friends. I text him, he texts me
yes,
sometimes.
tell me about that fight with Jesse James.
Oh no, had to bring up that's pretty much my
Come on, just a
I
little
def-
something.
again, this was in 1994, so I had won a world title. So they were trying to bring him up, and he did become a champion and a great fighter. So Jesse James and I, for some reason, we got kind of into not an argument, but we said some things to each other that I shouldn't have said what I said to him, and that's okay.
I can imagine you're from Texas.
Him too, yeah. So I fought him, and I had a real difficult time making weight. So I was dehydrated, and maybe he did also. But when you're dehydrated, you cut more easily. So the fight that I had with him, I think he cut me in the first round. I think he might have cut me again in the third round. Another time in the fifth round, I had 5 cuts. I had 2 cuts right here above this eye. Had 1 cut here. Had 1 cut here, and 1 cut here. And I think it was the 5th round. He hit me with a punch right on this eye here,
Mm.
and I've never been knocked down. Well, I have been knocked down twice in kickboxing. I went down, I got back up real quick, and I came back, and I don't remember if I knocked all those guys out, but anyways, that's what happened. But in boxing match, I never went down, except that one time I took a knee. So I took a knee. Then the referee comes over and he gives you counts to 8. Are you okay? And then the round was over. When I went the round, when I went back to the corner, the referee came in, and I think my cornerman might have just stopped the fight because my eye was shut. I couldn't see out of that eye, and also when I was bleeding, when you're bleeding in your eye, I couldn't see. So there's the times I remember to this day. That fight was in 1994. I remember to the day. I remember exactly when that I couldn't see him. At times it was just total darkness because my eyes were bleeding. So they got to watch. They got to watch. The referee has to watch the fighters and make sure they're there to protect the fighters, because people getting hurt like that and then maybe even killed. It's
Yeah.
happened every year. Every year people die boxing. You don't hear about it too much, but yeah, I was glad that he stopped the fight. And like I said, Jesse and they call him Jesse James Leha. So actually, I think
Tell
that
me, tell me about, let's see if I remember his name. Last name maybe it was Kelly. I don't know.
Kevin Kelly. Kevin,
Yes. Tell me about that.
well, that fight was in New York, and uh, he was another fighter up and coming. And I had been the world champion in 1991, 1992. I fought him in New York, and it went 12 rounds, and we just stood in the middle of the ring pretty much and punched it out. But at the same time, I had him on the ropes over and over and over again. I hit him with a 27 punch combination. You can see on the fight that the referee almost jumped in. He went in and then he backed up. I would have won that fight, but anyways, in the 12th round, it was a tough fight for both of us, but they ended up giving him the win. I threw 1,527 punches in that
I
fight.
read that. How many again? Say that.
1,527. 1,5
Punches.
punches in the fight, and then he threw, I think, 1,200 or 1,300. But they gave him the decision. He fought. He was from New York, and yeah, I'm gonna blame it on the New York judges that they gave him the fight when I felt like I had won the fight. But that's the way it goes. And I'm telling the story, so I don't complain about that, and I try to let bygones be bygones, and it happens the way it happens. And
you have to, you know. Where are these fighters today? Where is Jesse today?
he's in San Antonio. He has a nice boxing gym. It's a huge boxing gym from what I hear. He has competitors. He has people that just want to get in shape. He has young people. He has old people. So he's doing the community there a service.
Nice. And what about Kevin? Kevin Kelly, where is he?
I think he's a real estate guy, and I think he's in Michigan. He doesn't live in New York anymore. I think he moved over to Michigan, him and his wife, and I think he's in real estate now.
Oh, wow, that's a big change.
Right now.
Okay, where is Kevin today?
I believe he's selling real estate in Michigan.
Oh, wow, that's a drastic change, boxing to real estate.
And Kevin Kelly became a world champion also. So
Ah,
out of the people that I fought, I had 35 fights. 14 of them either were world champions or became world champions.
Troy, are you in any Hall of Fames? Boxing Hall of Fame, kickboxing Hall of Fame?
No boxing. I'm in some kickboxing and some boxing, and I'm sorry, no boxing. I mean, I am in some karate and kickboxing.
Yeah.
I
would believe that in the boxing community, you utmost respect for you, because how could they not? I mean, it would seem that everybody that was up and coming, they wanted them to fight you. So obviously that is a compliment that you're really good. When somebody wants, oh, we'll pair them up with Troy because you would give them a battle. That is such a compliment. And I'm just sad that the only way I ever got to see you fight is through watching YouTube. And for those of you that are watching this interview, you know, we can only say so much in an interview. And Troy, I mean, there's a story that volumes of chapters. Go to his YouTube channel, go to the internet, read everything and anything there is about this man, especially if you're a person who loves the world of fighting, because there's a story that you should all know. And like I said, I can't believe there's not been a movie made.
Yes, I have a person that is working on promoting and putting together a movie. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this can get done.
Would you ever want to do television work or make movies? Would you want to?
Well, when you say me make movies, me be an actor, I'm just not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. If I mean, I would do it if I could, for sure. I've never pursued it though. I've never gone to do anything.
I mean, you would be amazing to watch. I mean, Chuck Norris did it.
Okay. Walker, Texas Ranger. Yes, ma'am. I've been on 2 of those shows.
Yeah, so I think you would be amazing in front of the camera, a natural. That's my opinion, Troy. Okay. I think you got a fan here.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyhow, Troy, I would like to know, I know we know somebody out of Houston, Texas, Grandmaster Al. He's such a man of God. You know Grandmaster Al? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He's in Dickinson. And
he's not in Houston?
It's near Houston. It's real near.
Oh, well, we always say he's from Houston. I met him for the first time in Germany a few years back. We both were there. And I had the opportunity of him actually working out in my seminar, and I was just yay.
All
He
right.
would, I'm kind of known for being a hardcore teacher, and there was no way that Grandmaster Al was not going to complete that whole thing. He was amazing,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed, he would little sermons and little messages and talk to us about God. And when we had a break, he's just an awesome man. I love him, and I
Okay.
wish that we weren't so far apart. But yes, we do. I do know Grandmaster Al. He's
All right.
cool.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But Troy, you haven't always been a Christian.
Well, I got saved when I was 10 years old. Got baptized and saved when I was 10. And then when I was 15, I got a car. And then I started drinking alcohol. And then when I was 18, I started doing drugs. And I was pretty much doing that between each fight. So after the fight, the party was on. And I would party until 6, 8 weeks before my next fight. When I signed a contract, when 6, 8 weeks before the fight, I would stop drinking and doing drugs. The message is, tell me one good thing that you've heard of one person or one family that they experienced good from drugs or alcohol. There is nothing good that comes from drugs and alcohol. There's nothing. My parents raised me. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Don't cuss. Don't do this. Don't do that. But anyways, I tried it all. And at night, and so I got a car when I was 15 years old, driving around my city in Mansfield, small city. And then when I was 18, I started getting really crazy with drugs. And anyways, um, the Lord just had His hand on me and brought me through that without ever having ODing or getting busted, or I did get a DWI, but somehow, some way, only the Lord could have kept me from getting hurt and from killing a child when I was driving, or killing someone else, or killing myself, or killing my girlfriend, which is my wife. My wife and I have been married for 35 years. So no drinking since 98. And I went to an
Uh,
AA meeting. I think I went to two. I don't need this. I got Jesus. And then I went to an NA meeting. No, I really don't need this. I got Jesus. I don't need this kind of counseling. So since then, no drugs, no alcohol. I did drink with a friend of mine. I drank one beer because he's like, it's just one beer, and really one beer is not going to hurt you really. But I don't know too many people that drink one beer, because it
yeah.
goes to two or three. And then when you drive, after you've had two or three and you're driving, it's dangerous driving. So, anyways, I wish I could say that no alcohol since '98, but yeah, I had one beer. It was no big deal. So I'm just so
Oh, what a
I'm so
beautiful story. Has your wife always been a child of God?
she rededicated her life also uh, in 19. Let's see, I don't remember when it was. 1994, 1995. Yeah, she was raised in a Catholic church, and she said that she loved Jesus, and she felt as if she was going to heaven. And then we were going to church. She went down front and gave her life to the Lord, and then she got baptized. So I'm not sure exactly, what some Catholics believe this or believe that. I know this. This is what I truly believe, that Jesus plus something or someone does not get you to heaven. It's
Yeah.
only Jesus. Jesus gets you to heaven. It's not me and my pastor, or me and my priest, or me and my good deeds, because my deeds, they are like filthy rags. So
Yeah,
so it's
that
not
is true.
it's
I,
not it's
I
not
know, so many people think because you do good deeds that it's going to get you into heaven, but you have to know the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and you have to
yeah,
walk, you have to believe, and you have to live the life that is taught to you in the good book, my Bible.
yeah,
And if you don't believe that way, of course, there's a lot of people that are opposed to our way of thinking, and they can. They can. That's
Free
okay.
choice. Free. Gotta
Yeah,
give it free choice.
yeah. But this is my choice, And walking the path, following God, is a good path. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm well. I'm doing good at an old age. God's with me, and so I have a really great life. And through all of this that we're going through, I've still had a lot of classes, a lot of teaching. I went out, you know, God is good. He protects his children. And I'm thankful. And I love your story of what you shared, about being baptized and becoming a Christian when you were young, but you went on the wrong path. You went a different road. But I'm so grateful that you got back on the right road.
I am
And
too.
yes, and I'm so glad that God guided you through all the bad lefts and rights you took before you went straight again,
Yes,
because he
ma'am.
knew you were a good man, and he knew that there was much that was within you to share with your students. Are your students, I know Grandmaster Al, a lot of his students have converted and they're Christians, and he teaches them the Bible. Do you do that with your students?
I will every once in a while I'll say a Bible verse, or I'll say something about Jesus, but I need to be more on top of that. I need to be more on top of every class, because I don't do it every class.
Yeah.
So we play Christian music. We play Christian music in our karate school, so it's nonstop. When you walk in my school, you can hear that Christian music. So, and some people turn it down. I've got to figure out a way. I got to put it somewhere where no one can turn it down. So,
Yeah.
and while I'm thinking about this, I want to make sure and say this. You know, Malia, right?
Yes.
What's your last name, Malia?
It's Bernal, but I was Malia de Cascos
Oh,
before.
you
I
were
am
out of
I am
college.
Malia de Cascos, but when Al and I separated, I went to Malia, so I'm Malia Bernal,
Oh,
but it's
I,
Malia de Cascos Bernal.
I was wondering about. You said I heard DeCoscos what we're going. You're talking about Al, and I thought, oh yeah, that
Yeah,
I know
I'm
him.
talking about Grandmaster Al. When I talk about Al de Cascos, I say Al de Cascos. When I talk about Grandmaster Al out of Texas, I talk about Grandmaster Al out of Texas. But no, I was
Right,
married to Al. And a lot of people get turned off because you talk about God. They don't want to hear about God.
right.
And that's really sad, because you know what, Troy? Not a day goes by on Facebook there isn't somebody who's asking for all of us who are believers to pray for them.
Right.
So everybody has to believe there is a God out there, and that he answers prayers, and that the power of prayer is so powerful,
It
or
is.
they wouldn't be posting and asking, would you please pray?
Right.
My dad, my husband, sick, accidents. Everybody, when they are in time of need, turn to God.
Yes.
And you need to turn to God for everything. I turn to God all day long. I turn to
Yes.
God. He's
We
my
know.
friend. I talk to him.
Yeah, he's all we, let's say, he's all we have, and he's all we need. I was gonna say this a while ago though, and I got sidetracked. You can tell I'm good at getting sidetracked. Uh, Eternity is a long time. Eternity is a long, long time, and I don't want anyone, even my enemies. I don't want anybody. I don't. I try not to have enemies, but I'm trying to say I don't want anyone to spend eternity in hell,
No.
weeping and gnashing of teeth. Oh my God, hurting in your mouth, your teeth, weeping and crying constant, bottomless pit, and it's hot. It's so excruciating hot. I don't want anyone to spend eternity in hell. Am I
Mm.
better than you are? No. I'm a sorry, no good, rotten sinner. The Bible says all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. I have fallen short over and over. So because I think I'm going to heaven, because I know I'm going to heaven, that's the promise of God. Doesn't make me better, but I would just pray right now and hope that right now, if someone is watching this program, if they just say yes to Jesus, come into my heart, live, I want to live for you. That's all you have to do. And then start going to church, start reading your Bible and praying and believing and things.
It's simple.
Yes, ma'am. Just ask Jesus into your heart. Tell him, Lord, come into my heart. I want to put you first. I want to live for you. I do believe in the death, the burial, and the resurrection of you, Lord. I know you came back on the third day. And then one day, Lord, you're coming back for us. Whether I'm gone or whether I'm here, you're coming back for us. So we're a child of his. And I hope that someone would say those words and accept the Lord in their heart to this very day. And it changes their whole eternity. Eternity. Oh, it's so long. And it's so sad to know of people that just say no to Jesus. All they have to do is say yes. The Bible is the #1 seller around the world every
That's
year.
true.
Why is that? Because
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
it's true. It's the only book that's true. And you know, when you become a child of God, your life becomes better. I do the same things I always did before. I just pick and choose my path. I
Right.
pick and choose where I go, like I pick and choose what I eat. So
Right.
I pick and choose where I go. To be a child of God and follow him is a blessing. Your life becomes enriched and better. You know, I wouldn't want any other road than the road that I follow now. And I'm so grateful that you and I are both on the same path. And one day when the good Lord takes us, I'll be able to meet you in person.
Yes, yes, ma'am. You know what Bible stands for?
What?
The best information before leaving Earth. Not really, but
Ah,
it just worked out that way.
you know, try and tell people where your school, your business is, and in your business you teach fitness, you teach jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Tell us about your business a little bit.
My school is in Mansfield, Texas, in the historic downtown Mansfield. The building that I'm in was built in 1890.
Wow.
My wife and I bought the building in 1999 and started the karate school there. We opened in June of 99. My dad helped me rebuild and remodel it. He didn't help me. He did it all. I was the go for it. Go get the nail. Go get the. my dad did that for us, and my wife bought the building. I have to explain that later on, but anyway, she bought the building for me, and we started the school in 1999. I've been there for 22 years.
Oh, what a beautiful story.
Yes, ma'am.
I
It's
like that.
God given.
Now,
I'll back up a little bit. My school was in Dallas in 81. I bought that school from Alan Steen. You know Alan Steen, right?
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
Grandmaster Steen, if you've been in martial arts for any length of time. So I bought that school from him. The school actually, I believe it started in 1962. I bought it from him in 1981. And then I ran that school until 1999. Then I had my instructors run it. Then I sold it several years back. But I opened the school in Mansfield in 99, and that's what I'm doing there right now. Trying to we teach men, women, and children. And some people think karate is just for kids.
Yeah.
No, it's for big kids like me.
Yeah, of course. Do you teach fitness? I mean, like karate, aerobics, weightlifting?
We do what we call a kickboxing program.
Mm-hmm.
And also we have a martial arts and kickboxing program. So
that's awesome.
We get fit. We learn about self-control, learn about respect, discipline, teach the kids about the danger of drugs and alcohol, and talk a little about it also with men and women, because they struggle with those things too.
Yes.
And like I said, I don't know one good story that has came from drugs or alcohol. So we try to talk to them about those things too, and just doing your best and trying to put Jesus first.
Yes.
Sometimes we put ourselves on the throne. I don't know if you're guilty of that or not, but
of course.
all
I'm a
this.
human.
Yeah, yeah, we all make mistakes, and
Yeah, that's
I'm just
okay.
so
I
glad.
make mistakes every single day, and the only comforting thought is that God forgives me. That's okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so
You,
my
you
mistakes, my mistakes are not major; they're little, but I'm forgiven. Trey, if people join your school, are they able to take classes from you? Are you a hands-on teacher?
Yes, ma'am. I have a hard time letting go. So yes, ma'am. I teach the classes. I
Yeah, yeah.
have an instructor. His name is Owen Pete, and he helps me teach classes. And I've had several over the year, but right now he's the one teaching. And I also have another kickboxing coach. The kickboxing teacher, he does all the kickboxing classes. He does 4 a week. His name is Jarrett Roberts. He takes care of that for me right now. In the karate classes, I teach all of those pretty much. And I have Owen Pete. Whenever I step off the mat and need to help somebody, he teaches a lot of the classes for me also. But I'm
Uh,
just the hands-on guy.
That's good. That's me as well. At my age of 79, I still teach boot camp. My weightlifting. I still teach my kung fu forms, fighting, bag work. I still do all of it because God allows me to do it. So why wouldn't I do it?
Right? It's a gift. It's a gift He's given to you. So now you're sharing it with everybody. We got to share. We got to
Yeah.
share. Yes.
I'm gonna next time I go to Houston, I'm going to ask Cheryl and Miriam to take me to visit you in Mansfield because I want to
Okay.
meet you in person.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Marion's got my phone number, and we can get. And you
Now,
got my
now
book
you're
too.
in my book, so you're in
Right.
trouble.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Trey, is there anything you want to say to the people just about the martial art world or boxing world or anything you want to share besides what you've said?
Well, I've just been so fortunate to be able to be blessed to be able to do what I've done so far. In 2024, I've been in martial arts for 50 years. So probably not as many as you, huh?
Now, I've been a long time when I'm
Yeah.
79.
But I'm just so fortunate to have great parents, and they're still alive. And then my wife, like I said, for now 35 years, she's been well, longer than that. She's been with me since '82, like I said. So for 39 years, she's been supporting me. I met her at a karate tournament. She was a great fighter, and I
She's a
just
very strong woman to have had you as her husband because I'm sure you were a handful. You're a little rebellious.
yes,
And so,
my poor wife.
yeah, she
Yeah,
kept the family together. She
she
pulled
put
you in.
yeah
I'm
she,
proud of that woman. I want to meet her one day.
yeah I couldn't have done it without her. No way. So thanks to
Okay.
God, Leslie, and thanks to my parents Warren and Barbara Dorsey, my brothers Rodney and Brian Dorsey, and I've got a whole list of people to thank. But yeah, I've been so fortunate
Oh,
to take the opportunities that I've had. I look back on my life and I go, wow, I got to live such a great life. And I'm not trying to brag. Of course, I'm just being able to fight on pay-per-view, on closed circuit before there was pay-per-view, and NBC. And I've just been so blessed to be able to do what I've done.
yeah.
I almost want to cry. You know the shortest verse in the Bible?
Oh, you asked me and now I don't know it. Tell me, Jesus loves me, or so what is it?
Jesus wept.
Oh yeah, Jesus
It's
wept.
okay to cry. So it's okay
Yeah,
to cry. So
yeah,
I said
Jesus wept.
I was about to cry telling you about over my life, just what I've been able to do and what I've been able to fight in Vegas on the big billboards. And oh my gosh, I'm just so fortunate. I can't believe that I, but we got a God that does great things, and He does awesome things, and He only wants the best for us.
Yes,
I've made some bad decisions, and but He forgives me. Matter of fact, He says He forgives us as far as the east is from the west. He will remember them no more. The sins that we commit directly against Him, and He turns His back. So He doesn't turn His back on us. We turn His back on Him. But do you know what He said when He was dying on the cross?
forgive them, for they know not what they do.
He said, "Forgive Troy Dorsey, So he
Oh,
knows what he does.
right,
So
he knows not what he does.
just
Yes.
put your name in there. Yeah.
That's funny. Trey, I'm so happy that we've had this little
Yeah.
time together, and I've got to know a little something about you. I really made my day. I'm happy, and I thank God for helping me get over my nerves and get through this. And
You've done a
I
great
know
job.
I know it's going to be a great interview when it gets in Sam's hands and he edits it and puts it all together. But I'm just so pleased that you took this time, and it's an honor to have met you. And I must say, all the damage you've had done to your face, it certainly didn't hurt your looks. You're still very good looking.
You're very kind. You're very kind.
No,
Thank you.
your face, you see people that have boxed and their face, you can tell your face looks very nice. So,
Well,
okay,
thank you.
Trey. Well, I just want to say I hope everybody enjoys this, and I thank you, and have trick-or-treating or whatever, little candy for the kids, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's all
coming
coming.
up.
Thank you for adding another great episode to Road to the Top. And you truly are a fine man, and I love your aura. And tell your wife, I'm going to see her one day.
Exactly.
Okay, Joy,
Exactly.
I'm going to say goodbye, and you have a wonderful day, and take care of yourself and keep close to God, and don't stray.
I will. God bless you.
Straight
Ma'am.
ahead. God bless you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.